Hi, this is Seth Greene. So, welcome to After the Final Whistle, why today's professional athletes need a financial advisor more than ever. We are going to be covering all of the details of the Certified Professional Athlete Financial Planner program and how, if it's still available in your city, you can be the only advisor in your area to take advantage of it. But first, let's talk a little bit about the need in the marketplace. So let's take a look at the athlete, the professional athlete, who is obviously who you want to serve, which is why you're watching this video. So the final whistle blows. The crowd gives you one final standing ovation if you're lucky and you've made enough of an impact on your team or your sport. And you clean out your locker, and that's pretty much your career. You walk off into the sunset. And it's important to understand this from the mindset of the athlete. Today's athletic careers are sweet but short. They are facing shorter careers and more financial difficulties. These are statistics from the leagues themselves. 70% of all athletes face financial difficulties or are broke after 2 years of the end of their careers. 2 years after they retire, they're broke. That's absolutely insane. When you think about the average career length in the NBA is 4.8 years, the average salary is $5 million from the league, not counting any endorsements you might get. So the total earnings are about 24 million. Football has the shortest career at 3.5 years. Golf has the longest at 15 years, but the average salary there is only 500,000. Soccer is 10 years at 150. So obviously it varies from league to league and sport to sport. But obviously they make a whole lot of money in a very short period of time. But that doesn't stop the financial problems, as you know. This isn't news to any of you. This is headline stuff. Terrell Owens has gone broke after earning $80 million. Antoine Walker spent $110 million. Lenny Dykstra, who was on CNBC twice, once starting a lifestyle magazine for athletes and then again starting almost a hedge fund. He blew $60 million. Mike Tyson burned through $300 million. He's probably one of the most famous examples. He used to pay one of the members of his entourage $50,000 a year to walk around 24 hours a day to follow him and just say, "You the man, Mike. You the man." 50 grand a year just to say, "You the man." That's a pretty sweet job, man. I want to get paid 50 grand a year to say, "You the man." Kobe Bryant's divorce cost him 95 million. So there's obviously a whole host of these issues. Where does the money go? It's not all about the cars and the houses and spend it buying Bentleys. They have hobbies that can be very expensive. They have ill-advised behaviors. They get scammed by unscrupulous advisors. Jack Clark had 18 exotic cars. Allen Iverson had $860,000 in unpaid jewelry in an Atlanta jewelry store. It goes on and on. So, what do athletes need to do before we talk about how you're going to be the advisor in your area serving them? One of the problems is obviously they acquire a lot of this money in a very short period of time when they're very young, and stereotypically the majority of athletes are financially unsophisticated. So they easily fall prey to people who want to take advantage of them, and they need to surround themselves with people who will educate them and help keep them on track and protect them from themselves. They need to protect themselves from Uncle Sam as well. A lot of these athletes have probably never paid taxes in their life because they haven't had a job, or if they had a job, it was part-time manual labor minimum wage type of stuff before they got scholarships to college. So they need tax efficient investing because they do make so much money in a short period of time, and they need good tax advice. They also need to protect themselves from people in their lives that might help them make bad decisions. They need prenups to protect themselves from divorce. They need living trusts and irrevocable trusts and personal residence trusts to protect their house and their assets from things that might happen to them. And again, the average career of a professional athlete is usually 3 to 5 years, and that money then has to last forever. And they need specialized advice for that very unique need. They're not your normal client who's going to work for 30 years and then retire and have all that time to make 401k and IRA contributions. A lot of times, most of the time, the career the athlete has after professional sports pays nothing in comparison to what they made when they were playing sports. I mean, if they're making millions of dollars a year and then they go to, let's say, operating a car dealership or being in some type of sales position, it's a big step down. So it's not like they can continue to contribute to any retirement plan or any meaningful financial plan at that level anymore. Insurance is very huge for athletes and an underserved market. Joe Theismann told me a story about how his first day in the league when he was drafted, his coach said the first thing you need to do is you need to go get disability insurance and you need to pay for it with after-tax dollars so that should you ever need it, that money is tax-free. That was a very smart coach, and most coaches don't give their athletes financial advice. But Joe Theismann told me it was the best advice he ever got because he took it, and then obviously Joe Theismann's career ended with a knee injury, and that disability insurance paid out and was able to maintain a very nice standard of living for him until he built a second career that in his case ended up being more lucrative than the first as a motivational speaker. However, most athletes don't do that, so it would have been even more important. Certain types of life insurance like high premium, low death benefit, non-modified endowment contracts structured as non-qualified deferred comp are one of the last great tax shelters for athletes. So again, these are specialized things they don't even know that they need, and the average advisor doesn't know that they need, which is where you come in. So they need a financial game plan. They need a comprehensive process that encompasses everything from protecting from themselves, cash flow management, paying bills, investing, insurance, protection, retirement, future children from multiple marriages, all of the things that they need more protection from than the average person because it's more likely to happen to them. So a experienced, specialized financial professional obviously can help clear the confusion and the noise away to develop a financial plan that will suit the professional athlete. As an athlete, you're only one tackle, one check, one bad pitch, one ankle sprain, or one slide tackle away from losing your career. So they need a financial advisor that'll keep them on track, even if they're on the sideline, which is why they need you. So how do you get your share? You need a number of different things. The first thing you need is professional accreditation in the marketplace. You need advanced knowledge on how to serve the athlete market. Now, granted, you probably already know this already. You already have the knowledge. You have your CFP or something. You know enough to get the right people in the room with you to help you to serve the professional athlete. Nobody's knocking that right now. But you need to be seen that way in the eyes of the athlete and in the eyes of their agent. Because if you send your normal generic marketing material that you use every day or your broker dealer provides for you or your wirehouse, wherever you're at, and you send that to the athlete, it's going to end up here in a big pile of junk mail at the fan mail at the stadium. They're never going to see it. If on the miracle that Drew Bledsoe picks up your mail, he's going to say, you got to talk to my agent anyway. So you can't just go to the athlete. It doesn't work that way. If they ever see it, you'll still look like everybody else. You got to work through the Drew Rosenhauses of the world, who was the inspiration for Jerry Maguire. Now, there are a number of certification programs in the industry. The NFL has its own. The NFL has the NFLPA for like $2,000. You can get certified just with the NFL. There are a number of other companies out there that sell certification programs. I believe in complete transparency and authenticity and no BS. So I'll tell you honestly, this certification program, the CPAFP, is worthless. It's literally worthless because the CFP honestly is worthless. Think about it. If you have your CFP, the day you got it, the next morning, was there a flood of new prospects in the door saying, I heard you got your CFP, I can't wait to work with you? Of course there wasn't. The designation doesn't do you any good unless you have a way to market that designation in such a way that puts you head and shoulders over everyone else and positions you as the authority, as the expert as to why they should want someone with that designation in the first place. So my designation, the NFL designation, whatever designation you're talking about is worthless without the marketing behind it. Because it doesn't matter how good you are if you have nobody to be good for. Does that make sense? So it's all about the marketing. So who am I, and why should you listen to me when in the first place? I have been a producing financial advisor since 1999. I am still in the trenches and serve clients and professional athletes every day. So I'm not one of those gurus who was in the business 20 years ago and has been doing marketing full time ever since and is telling you stuff that worked 20 years ago. I'm telling you this. I'm giving you the stuff that works in my practice today because I'm still producing. I have been profiled in Registered Rep magazine. I have been written about in 3 best-selling books on financial advisor marketing and The Clients Went Wild, The Connectors, and Using Other People's Money to Get Rich. My financial advisor marketing program has serves hundreds of advisors every year, all over the country for the last 6 years. And we have a phenomenally successful track record at doing so. Some examples of marketing that I'm famous for. This was a marketing campaign we came up with to go after Republican hunters when Hillary Clinton was the front runner for the Democratic nomination in 2008. We sent this seminar invitation to 236 Republican hunters with over $100,000 to invest in this the target market, and we got over. Don't get your hopes up. My response rates aren't always this good, but over 20% of them showed up for a Hillary Proof Your Portfolio seminar, and that advisor ended up getting over 30 to 40 clients in that year from that one seminar. So think about that. When you think about the average seminar response, you got to send out 15,000 invitations to get 15 people in the room, and half those are plate lickers. Would you rather send it to a couple hundred people and get 30 or 40 people in a room? It doesn't happen every time, but it is possible. And we've done this in market after market because we serve a very specific target market for each advisor so that we can dominate it. This was the first flagship lead generation campaign I ever came up with, and my best performing one to this day. How to overcome the 7 biggest mistakes affluent blank being your target market, make when working with a financial advisor. And this lead generation report, at the end of it, after they read it, they come in and turn over their money and become clients. It works really, really well. Here's an example of that same report for a different niche, how to overcome the 7 biggest mistakes conservative growers make when dealing with a financial advisor. This was a financial advisor in Georgia who was going after blueberry farmers, affluent farmers, and they call themselves conservative growers. And that's his version. This is how to overcome the 7 biggest mistakes affluent yacht owners tend to make. This is an advisor who's a yacht guy himself, and is going after other yacht owners. Because if you got enough money to have a big hole in the water that sucks up money, otherwise known as a boat, you're probably a good prospect for him. This is how to overcome the 7 biggest mistakes affluent cardiologists make when working with a financial advisor. This is an advisor obviously going after cardiologists because he's in Atlanta and there's a large number of them. That wouldn't work in my market in Buffalo. In Buffalo, New York, there aren't enough cardiologists to make this worth my while, but in Atlanta, it works for him. So what do you need? We talked about the designation and how it's worthless without the marketing behind it, and how you can't just mail to the athlete at the stadium. So you need the list. There are a number of different places you can go to buy the list. Some of you may have this list already, and that's okay. We have a different version of the program that's cheaper for people who already bought the list. So we use the list from Sports Agent 411. They are the industry leader. The list has 6,000 professional athletes on it, every professional athlete in the country, their home address, home contact information, their salary, their agent, and their agent's contact information. The cost of that list from Sports Agent 411 is $10,495, and that list is included in the program. If you already have the list, there's a cheaper version of the program. You don't have to buy it twice. If you got the list from somebody else, that's okay too. Then, like I said, it's all about the marketing. So here are the 2 marketing campaigns you get. The marketing campaign that goes to the agents, because the athletes are going to give your stuff to the agent and say, talk to my guy. So you have to get the agent to refer you to the athlete. So this is how to overcome the 7 biggest mistakes agents and managers make when referring their clients to a financial advisor. This gets the agent to go, oh my God, I am doing my clients a disservice and opening myself up to a huge lawsuit by referring my athlete clients to my brother-in-law, to the advisor that I work with personally, to the advisor that I know who's not a specialist, who doesn't have this particular designation. So it gets the agent to realize that he can't just refer them to every Tom, Dick, and Harry advisor. He needs to refer them to you, the CPAFP in your market. Then the agent gives this to his clients, and you also send this to the athletes as well. So this way the agent is seeing your stuff, thinking about it, then the athlete is seeing your stuff and going to the agent going, hey, how come you didn't send me to this guy? Should I go talk to this guy? And the agent's going, oh my God, I'm reading his stuff too. Yeah, you really should. So it's a push-pull on the supply chain. So you're getting the agents referring to the athlete and the athlete referring up to the agent, so they get hit from both ends, which makes it work really well. Plus, you get my proven multi-step follow-up drip campaigns that go to both the agent and the athlete to keep you in front of them, to keep you top of mind, so that if they're looking for another advisor, if their advisor pisses them off, if they want a second opinion, you're the only person, you're the first person they think of, and you get the business. Does it work? Yes, it does. It is guaranteed to work because we've already done it. We have a number of advisors that we have been beta testing with that were the first ones in the program that it's already worked. This is me with Paul Pozlewski, who was the all-star offensive lineman for the Buffalo Bills before he got traded. This is Adam Lingner, who was on the Buffalo Bills 4 Super Bowl teams that unfortunately we lost all 4 Super Bowls, but he was on all 4 and played for the Bills for a number of years. That's his note to me. That's Jim Kelly. Obviously, you know who Jim Kelly is. He was the quarterback of all of those Buffalo Bills Super Bowl teams. So what is it worth? What's the program worth? The list itself is $10,495. You also get the certification program. The way the certification program works is I give you 3 books that you have to go buy from Amazon that are all about how to serve that are serving the athlete market and serving agents. So you know what the agents and the athletes are thinking. You can speak their language. You read all 3 books. You read each book one at a time. You take a test online to prove that you read the book. After you read all 3 books, you get access to the membership site for the program. In the membership site we do a live webinar every single month with me training you on how to implement this program in your practice. We also usually interview a celebrity guest expert on the webinar as well. We have had Dave Farrow on the program, who is the Guinness Book World Record holder for the world's best memory. He memorized 62 decks of cards, I think, in a row. Now, why is a memory expert in the program as one of our faculty? Because he's an expert on getting publicity. He has over 100 million hits to his website and has done over 1,000 radio and television interviews. And he trains you on how to get publicity for being in our program, so that now you can get on local radio, TV, and talk shows and newspaper interviews because you're in our program. So we interview him. Suzanne Wu is a business golf expert. She was in Donald Trump's book on the best golf advice I ever got. She was interviewed for that. She's the #1 expert on how to teach financial advisors how to get business from their celebrity athlete clients on the golf course, even if you've never swung a golf club in your life. I couldn't even hit the golf ball before I started working with Suzanne. She's in the program. We've got people who are product and service experts to help you. So those are all on the membership site. The marketing campaigns are all on the membership site. Everything you need is in there. So you get access to that. You get access to all the marketing campaigns. You get to work with me in addition to the live webinar every month. You get to work with me every other week, one-on-one, personally, helping you modify this for your practice, helping you get it out the door, helping you get the clients. So 3 out of 4 weeks in the month, you're talking to me, you're working with me directly. So that's why we can't have 5,000 advisors in the program, and there aren't that many sports teams anyway. But you get me one-on-one. I don't know of any other program on the market from anyone else in our marketplace where you get direct attention that often. But again, that's why we can't have that many advisors in the program. That's why it's limited. It's also limited by the number of sports teams there are in the number of cities that have multiple sports teams, but it's also limited by my personal time because I give you so much of it. So what's a client worth? Across all sports, the average sports career is 7.6 years, and the average lifetime earnings is $9.4 million. Let's say they lose half on taxes. That means they make $4.7 million. Let's say they blow half the money on houses, cars, and jewelry. Now they've got $2.3 million to invest with you. Let's say you put half in a managed money program at 1.5% a year. That's $17,625 in fees each year. Let's say you put a quarter of their money in fixed income, making you zero. Again, I'm going worst case here. And let's say you put a quarter in an annuity ladder that's $29,375 if you take the 5 or 6% upfront commission. So that's a total of $47,000 in first year commissions plus $17,000 a year after that in renewing fees. Your investment in this program is only $1,300 a month, or if you want 25% off, you can pay for a year, the whole year up front at $12,495. This is the second generation beta tester price. So we've got a number of advisors in there. We've got a handful, literally less than 5 advisors in the program who have proved it. Now we're bringing it to a wider marketplace. We're doing this for the next 3 months. So if you wait 3 months until I have like 20 advisors in the program and have testimonials and case studies from those folks, we're doubling the price at that point. So it will go up from $1,300 a month to $2,600 or $12,500 a year to $25,000 a year. So you can get on board now and save a whole lot of money and be one of the beta testers and be a case study, or you can wait till we have more testimonials and results. It'll just cost you twice as much. The list by itself costs $10,495. So if you take that into consideration, you're getting the certification program, the marketing campaigns, and the drip campaigns for $166 a month. I mean, plus my time is a hell of a lot more than that per hour. So again, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. It's dirt cheap. What's the guarantee on the program? Number one, you can quit anytime with no further commitment. If you decide it's not for you, you can quit and stop paying. Number two, and most important, if compliance doesn't approve it, if your compliance won't approve it, I will refund your money. So you try it, compliance says, no way, that's crazy, we're not letting you do it, you get your money back, no questions asked. And number three, if you implement the program the way we teach you for 12 months, and you are not the top of mind advisor for your local sports team, I will give you 12 months of my Platinum Financial Advisor Marketing Program that costs $25,600 a year for free. So basically, if it doesn't work, I'll double your investment. You paid the $12,500. If it doesn't work, I'll give you $26,000 a year more in marketing, absolutely free. But again, that's not going to happen, but the guarantee is there. Now again, it is limited space. You've got to be in a city with multiple sports teams because there's got to be enough athletes there to make a market for you. If you've got one sports team and it's a small NBA team and there's only like 15 or 20 athletes, it's not worth it. You need to major. It doesn't have to be, I mean, Buffalo's not a major city. We have the Bills and the Sabres. We only have 2, but that's enough. Obviously, LA or New York, would be a lot bigger. The more the merrier. So I am only taking 30 advisors into this beta test. If you can follow the link below, you can click the button below to sign up for the program. Now, if you sign up for the program and your city is already taken, I'll just instantly refund your money. So that's not an issue either. There are a number of cities. I'll just give you an example. Obviously, Buffalo's locked out because I'm here. Chicago's already taken. We've got some other cities and some other state cities that are taken. That again, I'll let you know right away if you're in one that's taken, and refund your money. Otherwise, if assuming your city is open, it's first come, first serve. So if I got 5 advisors, this actually happened in Chicago. I had 5 advisors who wanted in Chicago. It went to the first one who signed up, and those other 4 were locked out. So again, there's a we can only do 1 advisor per city, and there's only so many cities with professional sports teams. So that's the program. That is the Certified Professional Athlete Financial Planner program. If you have questions, you can email me. My email is seth@marketdominationprogram.com. But again, if you delay, obviously you run the risk that your city may be locked out. My phone number is also below, 716-908-3164. However, keep in mind I'm on the East Coast and I have 3 little kids who go to bed early. So if you do call me, please call during normal East Coast business hours so you don't wake up my kids and piss off my wife. That's the program. And again, it's got 3 different, you can quit anytime you want. It's got multiple guarantees on it. It's dirt cheap when you look at what you get. And seriously, even if you only get one athlete from it, you basically tripled your investment, but you're going to get a whole lot more. I guarantee it. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I look forward to seeing you on the inside of the Certified Professional Athlete Financial Planner program.